So at the beginning of the 1500s, Hieronymus Bosch painted this epic triptych, triple painting, of the Garden of Earthly Delights, which included paradise, earth, and hell. And among those hellish details is a demon singing music that is written on a guy's butt. Now, most paintings don't have their own built-in soundtracks, and people have attempted to record this music.
Alright, riffin' boys.
But I really don't think that this sci-fi dumpster fire sounds like a warm spring day.
Did you see a butterfly?
So I decided to re-record. The demon butt music is written in square note, which is a 4-line staff used for Gregorian chants. But instead of using the square nib that monks would use, this demon is clearly just dipping his finger in ink or ash or the darkness of his own soul and splooping it all over this guy's butt. So we know that square note is going to be in a diatonic scale, either centered around C or centered around F. But since it is written on a man's butt in hell, I presumed it would be F for flatulence. C, D, E, F, do, re, mi, fa. So it's fa, sol, la, ti, do, re, mi. That is the scale we're working with. Challenge number 2. Instrumentation. We have a giant hurdy-gurdy, a lute and a harp. So we know that we're going to have a drone note and plucked strings. We also have a demon singing Gregorian chant style with a group of damned souls behind him, so I'm assuming demon cantor, chorus of damned souls. We also have horns, for which I used a melodica. And finally, we've got some drums. So I used a cookie tin, dropped an octave. And the final ingredient was the landscape. If you look around the painting, there's a lot of stuff happening that's clearly making a noise. There is a guy getting eaten by an alligator, a guy making out with a pig, a guy getting licked by a dog. There are people getting burned and stabbed and drowned and people puking, and none of it's going to be quiet. So I decided to imitate those things as best I could and sprinkle them into the background. And all of that put together, I hope sounds a little bit like what Hieronymus Bosch imagined his hell to sound like. Enjoy. Let's see if we can find this real quick.
Butt Song from Hell.
We were scrolling around in the panel of the painting. We found a guy's rear end with music written on it in Gregorian notation. I wrote up some sheet music from it, and there's a few errors in it, but I think the painter was just putting notes on there. It's not a very good Gregorian chant, really. I think he may have just been faking it.
All right, on that note, I disagreed with Amelia slightly. So first off, I don't think it was random. I think a demon wrote that on a butt. I think that demon was very intentional in not only using the Gregorian diatonic form, but also subverting it slightly by putting in notes that were clearly right in between two notes on the staff, which to me strongly implies that we're going for some jazzy departures from the strict heavenly diatonic scale that monks would be singing. That's my personal opinion. Is there a smudge on my lens? Oh, there is a smudge on my lens. Hold on a second. Unacceptable.
More acceptable. Anyway, Noom.